here. Just picking up where we left off last time. I decided to come back in and do a part 2. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the city, but we're here in Poland in the new DLC Going East. So we'll take a look at our map here. I'm going to try to find a load that runs right through the new area here. So let's just go ahead into our freight market, select our city. Well, I don't even want to try to pronounce that one, but looks like we have a couple here. Good. This one is paying a little bit more, and it's a lighter load, so in most cases I think you would want to take this one for sure. However, I kind of feel like really going on the far out edge here of the new area, and I feel like towing a heavier load. Put that MAN to work. So let's go ahead and let's just set this one on our GPS. We'll get our truck started. I might as well drive with my lights, because surely it's gonna rain and I always forget to turn them on and then I get a ticket. See, I don't have brights. Alright. Well, let's kick her in gear and let's get going here. See, I was going to run a couple loads, and I decided to, since we're over here, I would do a video of running right down, since we're on the very northern part. I thought, let's just run all the way down through and take a look at a bunch of the new area here. Maybe some of you haven't had the chance to buy it yet. Keep rolling forward there. Alright, let's go, go, go. Man, that guy just ran a red light. Oh my goodness. What is this? Wow. So, yeah, right, if I rolled past this line here, I'd get ticketed. What is the deal with the way people are already driving today? These silly AI. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. So, looks like we're gonna have to drive a little bit outside of town to the mining pit, or whatever that's called there. Ooh, hopefully it's down at the bottom. Oh no, it's at a... is it like a lumber place? I love pulling the heavy ones. This is a 24-ton load, which without mods I believe is the heaviest you're gonna get in here. So I know one thing, the truck certainly isn't gonna take off and handle like this when we get that thing loaded up. And we better stop at the gate here. Alright. I did not mean to shut that off. Yes. Go ahead and take that job. Hauling that excavator. Come on, baby. I don't know. This might be the last video I even do with this truck. I think I'm gonna run a few loads and probably won't trade it off. I think I'm gonna keep it and either not use it, or I'm probably gonna hire a driver and buy a small shop. Maybe hire 2 drivers. But I might have to take a loan out for all that. And then, whoa! Then we'll be slaves to the bank at that point. But we'll see. I'm gonna run probably at least 2 or 3 runs, not making a video or anything like that, just to get the money up the best that I can, and That way we got a little bit of extra funds here. We're at about a 174 after that last run was kind of a wash there almost. All the crashing. Hopefully I don't have too much crashing today. There's our heavy load there. Says we can go the maximum of 70 with this trailer. Should have went right there. Alright, thank you, dude. I hopefully will get going here quick enough that he won't regret letting me out. Nobody wants to let a big truck out in front of you. But yeah, we're going to try the best to keep the two wheels between the two lines here. Or actually, there's a whole lot more wheels than that, but we want to keep all the wheels in the ground, basically. Had a lot of mishaps lately. Been pushing it ever since the shut the governor off. Makes the game a whole lot more interesting and a little bit more dangerous. Oh, there's always got to be a car. Come on, buddy, don't make me stop. Oh, you idiot! Oh my God! Oh! Yes, please go. Oh, almost taking paint off the bumper here. Oh well. Alright, that's gonna be it. That's our last close call. Whole episode. Nothing but perfect driving here on out. Let's do it. Hey, look at those cows. Oh, nice. Got an excavator working here. Hey, buddy, you want a bigger one? Thing's a little on the small side. So this truck here with, I think it was maximum you could get with this model was the 680 horsepower, and we're gonna put her to good use. It's pulling pretty good. I mean, I think I'm gonna buy a shop in maybe Switzerland or Italy. I haven't even been to Italy yet. I have no idea why. I just never ran any loads down there. I've been like saving it or something because I hear that it's really a beautiful part. And all these hours I've played, I've been running mostly around Germany and not even a lot of France. Of course, there's not a lot of France you can drive. And been a little bit of UK, and this guy's gonna get sacked right here. And we're gonna roll it on this corner. Oh my God! Oh shit! Oof. Okay. I didn't want to jerk it too hard to the right because we would have ended up probably laying on the pavement there. Look at that. These guys are working. A couple of them leaning on shovels. That's pretty typical in the construction road work. So yeah, I think I'm going to buy a shop in the southern part, and maybe the next DLC we get will be going south. That'd be awesome. Doing like all of Italy. Oh man. I want to go to, I want like France. I want to do like Spain, maybe Portugal, I think that'd be pretty awesome. And Italy, or just Italy or Spain, I'd take those two. I've spent so much time, more than I'd probably like to admit, on Google Earth, because I've always dreamed of being able to travel to, especially Europe, and it's so phenomenal. I'm sure everybody's done it, but if you are interested in traveling, you can get on Google Earth, and I've sat there for 3 or 4 hours in one evening instead of playing games and things like that, and I just enjoy like going to different places, different countries, and just using the arrow keys to travel up and down streets. And oh boy. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna I would never do this in real life. I just want to get by this guy in the worst way. But yeah, I love going to, you know, like one day I was looking at some pretty rough neighborhoods in Miami and Los Angeles, and I can't believe the Google car drove down those streets. You know, there's gang graffiti all over, there's gangs standing on the street. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to watch my mirror there. And it's just interesting. I don't know if I'd want to drive a car with that equipment and everything else down those streets, but it's cool to be able to see that, because Lord knows I'd never be, you know, going in one of those neighborhoods. Especially in a state that allows only criminals to have guns and carry them. But anyway, I just enjoy going and looking at other countries, and what I was getting back to is Italy and Spain have the new 4th generation, you know, Google camera. They might even be on a new generation by now. Most of the United States is on, you know, we got it first, of course, so we got the 1st gen camera, which was cool because we've had Google Earth for quite some time with all the streets and everything, but we also have the crappy quality. However, this past year, you know, they have been redoing a lot of the cities in the United States, and I just noticed about a month ago that it had to been back in May, because I could tell by my grass the way it was growing and some things I did out there, that they just came by in my little old town here in Tennessee and drove past my house, and I'm like on a kind of a dead-end street, so it surprises me that they even come down here, because there's a lot of areas that they don't hit. But they came down and came past, and well, which is pretty cool, because I do run a business from my home and use Google Maps for everything, and yeah, it, you know, helps people when they're using the smartphones and all that, that they can see a nice, clear, you know, almost high-def image of my home, so they know they're at the right place. Previous years, before we had all that, you know, 1st gen camera, people didn't have smartphones, things like that, they would, for some reason, get the numbers mixed up and end up going to my neighbor's house and getting out and hauling their computer up to the front door, and yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Oh my gosh. When the neighbors had to tell them, hey, you're at the wrong house here, put that back in your car and go over there. And one time I even had a guy that, it was like, he didn't call, and that's something that kind of annoys me a little bit, is this city's really cool. They really did a fantastic job here. And I think this is, yeah, Warsaw, I think it's how you say that. Pretty big city in Poland, I'm from what I'm aware. But anyway, I had a guy that went to the neighbor, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. He didn't call him. He was really early. I was still in bed, of course, being a late nighter. And I gotta take a right here. This is gonna suck. Should have got over. My wife would probably laugh if she saw this, because I do this a lot when I'm driving. Okay, buddy, come on. One trucker to another. Oh. I came close to hitting him. So yeah, the guy basically went there, and I don't know if they woke the neighbor up or what happened, but they said, hey, it's the wrong place. And he was like 5 houses, almost on the wrong street. And he backed out, and a bunch of neighbors, you know, got a lot of retirees here, and they're up and out working on their yard that early. I saw this, but the guy backed out and backed over another neighbor's mailbox and damaged it and put a big dent in his tailgate. And then he came to my house and started dinging on the doorbell and everything else. Of course, I didn't answer, and later on that day, there was no computer sitting out there, which I've had people to leave expensive computers and just not even call or let me know. But yeah, there's nothing out there, and the neighbors, when I was outside later on in the day, started telling me, yeah, man, one of your customers went over and ran over the neighbor's mailbox, and and then took off out of here. And so it's anyway, it's just kind of funny, kind of embarrassing. I felt bad. I was like, man, I hope nobody expects me to pay for it, 'cause I didn't ask the guy to come here. If I would have told him to come here, I would have certainly given him directions. And I got a sign out out front too, but people just don't see that, I guess. So anyway, Google Earth is awesome. I don't know if anybody else enjoys it as much as I do. I haven't been on there in, you know, like I said, a month or so, but every time I do, they add new countries. I'm really waiting, and maybe they already have it. I've been waiting all along for them to do Germany. I really dream of being able to take a trip over there. Northern France, I definitely would like to go there, being a big World War II buff. I just absolutely lose my mind. You know, France has got some good, you know, imagery for Google, and I've actually, you know, some of those roads. I mean, here in America, we've had so much development in the last century that things that were there back in that time period, and you know, 40s, 30s, 20s, whatever. You know, some of those roads are still kind of there, but yeah, things have changed. You know, this country's developed so much that everything is so new here, you know. But it's really cool because a lot of those little roads, you see pictures of how they were in World War II, and if you go into Google Earth and you find that road, other than the fact that it probably was dirt then or something like that, and now it's paved, it is unbelievable how much things still look the same. And you know, if I got some people watching this and subscribers and whatnot from that part of the world, you know, maybe laugh at how intrigued I am at that, but I really I'm blown away by that. And the houses, it's so, oh my god, it's so unbelievable to see these houses, that the shutters and you know, everything on the house. You know, sometimes the paint colors are a little different, but sometimes they've even kept at the same. The same shutters are hanging on the house that were there back in World War II in the background when there's like troops walking through, and I'm just like, oh my god, you know. And maybe it's the same family that even lives there now. Could be many different people have moved in and moved out, but I just think that's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I've seen those streets modern day. You know, maybe they've widened some of those roads, but the hedgerows are still there, and I'm just like, man, I just want to walk down those streets and just kind of relive that experience. Back in 2002, I started planning a trip to go. You know, it was like I don't know, you call it an organized tour for the 60th anniversary of D-Day, you know, which of course was in 2004, so I had about 2 years, but it was like $5,000 or $8,000 at the time, and of course, you know, being a college kid and whatnot, by that time I'd kind of gotten out of that whole thing and was working full-time in sales. I had a good job, but I just couldn't see spending that much money at that point in my life, and so I basically chickened out and didn't do it. And maybe it was good I didn't, but of course you know, like a lot of people, pissed a lot of money away at that point in my life because I had a good job and, you know, young guy. And so I probably could have pulled it off, but anyway, it was something, like I said, I kind of regret, but I know I'll get there again one day, or not again, but I'll have the chance again one day to get there. So hopefully they don't change too much. I doubt that it probably will, but the highway that is just basically right out, not in front of my house, but a couple blocks from my house, is Highway 31 that you know, runs through Middle Tennessee here, and back in oh man, I forget the year. Well, the Civil War was from, you know, 61 to 65. Man, I'm rusty on the dates there. But anyway, it was, I think in 1863, the Confederate Army, during the Civil War, of course, the Confederate Army and the Union Army both marched, I don't remember how many troops, right down that highway, kind of chasing each other. Of course, you know, back then it was all horse and foot. Nobody really moved too fast, so I don't remember who was first. Screw this up now. Kind of forget the details, but I do get into some Civil War stuff, but I live in a pretty Civil War rich area. There was one of the biggest, bloodiest battles of the Civil War was fought 30 minutes from me in Franklin, Tennessee, and those battlefields are still there, and a lot of them have been built on. Unfortunately, they're trying to save a bunch from being from being built on. There's graveyards there. There are, you know, there's plantation homes that served as field hospitals. I want to say, oh my gosh, the Carentan. No, that's not right. My wife just went there, took some family there this year. I went, I think it was 2 years ago, but anyway, you know, there's still bloodstains all over the floor where they were, you know, treating wounded soldiers and doing the room that they were doing all the amputations in, cutting off limbs and such, because they didn't, you know, they didn't have the technology, of course, back in the 1860s to perform the surgeries like they do now of saving limbs and whatnot. When you had a big problem with the limb, it just pretty much, I guess, came off. And, you know, they were probably, oh, this road is cool. It almost looks like it's like a one-way, but I know it's not. But man, they really did a phenomenal job here. It's interesting. But yeah, anyway, that room has a lot of bloodstains on the floor, and the front porch had bodies stacked like you would court wood, you know, like you'd stack wood for your stove or something back then. They had the bodies stacked on the front porch, and they have a picture of it, and you can stand on that same porch, and if I remember right, you know, they had that painted, but you're standing in the same place. They had all those soldiers stacked up, you know, and there's plantations around that, you know, there's still musket ball holes. I was down at in Vicksburg, Mississippi this past summer, and there's a mansion down there that still has the cannonball wedged in the wall. So, oh, I could go on about that for a long time, but the battle that was here, the soldiers that fought the bloody battle in Franklin marched through a day or two before, and they got to the, they kind of camped near here. Nearby is in a field, and turn our blinker on. The Confederates were ahead, I believe, because they were getting pushed, and the Union was coming up from south, Mississippi or Alabama or something like that, and they were pushing the Confederate, trying to get to Nashville. Nashville was, you know, the big prize, and watch our corner here. And so the Confederates got to a place near Spring Hill where the Rippavilla plantation is. My wife and I actually got married in that plantation like 6 or 7 years ago, 2007. And so anyway, they camped out. They had a small battle in the city I live in. They camped out there, and during the night the Union Army decided to keep marching through the night, which I guess they didn't do a lot of that back in those days, but I suppose, you know, you're running into shit, you know, like trees and stuff with your got your horses and whatnot, so I imagine it was kind of a pain in the rear to be out marching around in the middle of the dark. But yeah, they just tiptoed right around the Confederates that were all camping, and I guess somehow they kept their horses quiet and kept a little bit of distance, and they marched right up 31, and the next morning they were on the north side of the Confederate. And they had a small skirmish there, Battle of Spring Hill. I don't remember how many died. And they pretty much took off hell-bent for lecture towards Nashville, and I really hope I'm not getting my history wrong, but they got north, I don't know how many miles, it was 15 miles or something like that, to Franklin, and they dueled it out. The Confederates walked into a lot of bad stuff, and it wasn't as bloody as Gettysburg, but it was one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War, and I think thousands of men died there. And most of the battlefield now is well, there's a Target and a Chili's and lots of businesses and some old homes, and I don't know, I guess maybe back then they didn't, being that this was a Confederate state, didn't want to preserve that battlefield, maybe the memories, but and maybe it was, you know, money and whatever, but what, you know, for whatever reason it got built on. So kind of sad, but you know, still see the pictures and imagine how it was. And I'll probably end up doing a vlog or something one day of some of those places. I think it'd be kind of interesting. Just always been one of those people that really puts myself back in that time and just imagine what that was like. Not that I want to be in a war today, but you know, it was really gruesome back then, and up close and personal, that is for sure. And you know, you're killing your own countrymen. Civil wars are never pretty, but no war is. But you got injured and things like that, they really didn't have much for you other than get drunk, sew you up, cut your limbs off if they needed to, and not much as far as pain medicine and things like that. So you can just imagine how miserable that must have been. Any war, you know, before this time period, you know, current period. I think morphine didn't even come into effect until I think near World War II. I mean, I don't know if I remember right if we had morphine back in World War I or not, but those guys all suffered too, and anybody is going to suffer that gets hurt. But luckily we got better technology. This is really pretty. I'm still kind of shocked at the old haystacks. Do you actually see those over there? Kind of think that you'd see a lot more round bales. There is actually a mod that somebody made that replaces all those, the old-fashioned haystacks to I guess the round bale. Yeah, I think it was square bales, round bale. I've seen it, but I was like, I'm not going to download that. I'm not that crazy about what I see there. Oh, let's see if we can sack this guy here. Oh, man. They got rumble strips on the highway, too. That's pretty cool. It's kind of hitting him back there. We're not really getting that great of speed. Got her to the floor right now. I'm going to trade this truck up for something a whole lot better, more power. There's not really anything with a lot more, but the Scania, forget the model. It's got like 730, and what's the other one? The Volvo, I think, had 750 or. All right, we're gonna. He's turning. I don't ever use my blinker in here. Probably should. I think the AI do react. I don't know what that is. Speed camera coming up. Oh, there's some round bales for you. I always look at those old haystacks, and I never figured out how they got like that. If that's from people piling it, or some machine did that, thrashing machine or something. Uh-oh, there's a speed camera. As long as we don't speed past that, we'll be good. And we better stop here. I'm gonna check the old map and see how we're doing. Holy cow. That is gonna take a while there. We're kinda losing time on these highways, but we're gonna kick her down and go. Come on. Put her to the board. Hopefully the floor ain't rusty or my foot is gonna go through it here. My dad had an old truck for so many years, a Chevy Blazer 79. Bought her brand new and still has it, but you definitely do not put too much pressure on the floor. He carpeted it back in like the 80s. When I was a kid, he put carpet in it. And that carpet is really the only thing that your feet rest on. And if you push too hard, that carpet will push right through. Whoa. A lot of rust, a lot of cancer as we call it. That truck just kept on running. I think originally it had a 305 cubic inch. And that wasn't enough power, so he put a... I don't know, after the thing had some miles on it, he used to use it as a daily driver, but he put a 400 in it, which isn't as common, but definitely got up and went then. I don't even know what that thing came out of, but it still runs to this day. It's got a plow on it, it's not on the street anymore, but I think we pretty much, after I beat on it when I was in high school a little bit, took her off the road. Forget, I still don't know what my button here, oh okay. Yeah. Ooh, that's freaky. I'm blinding everybody with these lights. I love it. You know, people can turn off these rumble strips now with the, I think it was the latest patch. It was something they've done recently, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, they don't really bother me. They're very realistic in sound, and definitely help let you know when you're too far over. Alright, we're gonna sack these cars right here, and holy cow, I hope there's nobody up here. I just don't have any juice left in the tank here. Whoa. We got our peg to the floor and can only get it to 48. You know, I might do. I think we're gonna need some sleep. Something else that I've noticed they've really done a good job on, they've put so many places to pull off and sleep all over the place. And that really helps. I think we might try to beat this darkness. And I could use some fuel because we're going to be running out of that here too. I think we're going to pull off here and get some fuel right in front of that truck, cause a big wreck. And, whoa, try to get some sleep if we can. Paying all kind of money here for diesel. Alright. Let's see if we can fit up here and sleep. I don't mind driving at night, but kind of want to see more of what's going on around us here. Well, that kind of stinks. Oh man. I'm gonna have to back her all the way up here. I think they did that on purpose. Just to mess with us. Whoa. Perfect. Not the best parking job, but it'll do. Hopefully we don't get this thing there late, you know. My driver there just returned empty. See, I wish I could have just said, you know what, dude? Just sit there until you got something. Yeah, we could have hauled a car trailer just like that, but it seems kind of light, I guess. Well, cars these days, like the way they're making them with all that plastic, they're really not that heavy. I think like a lot of them cars weigh even as little as a ton to 2 tons, you know. Maybe a truck is 3 tons. So we're coming into Slovakia? Cool. Right? I don't know, can't read that sign. Let's just have a look here. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is all new area. Of course, I did a little bit of this country over here. This one little city is all we had before, and now we got per near the whole thing. Now it's daytime and everybody's out and about. That's probably the only bad thing is you get more traffic during the day, especially when you're dealing with these highways. Hey, cool. I saw a picture of that tank online. Pretty neat. Wonder what the story behind that is. Oh, I wonder if you can turn off over there. These people are pissed right now. Get out of the way. Yeah, I saw a picture of this too. Cool. This is another pull-off rest stop. I wish I would have slept here because I heard it's kind of a pain to get a trailer in and out of there. A little tricky. Turning in and turning around. That'd have been fun. Oh well. Have to do that next time. Be better than that boring gas station back there, but we need to get gas anyway. Got my brights on. So, let's see what this is. Bunch of logging. Yeah, I wonder what that story is on that. Hey, what's this? There's a plane up here. What are they doing in this country? Trying to demonstrate their military might? Look at that. Got a gun over there. Maybe that's what they do, is they park all their military equipment random places all over the country, and that's their defense. I don't know. Obviously it's from World War II. Maybe their equipment really is. Pretty sure they got some good stuff over there. I know I enjoy looking at videos of what the German military has. They got some pretty neat vehicles and things like that that they build these days. There's some old haystacks. Oh man, now we're getting some good speed. Holy cow, what is this guy doing? As long as he stays in his lane. Probably scared the hell out of him when we flew past. If we could just keep making time like this, we'd be good. Oh, nice. We get the interstate. That's what we call it here in the South, and some places this country. Oh man, we're gonna hit. Oh my god, this guy! Can I not have one crash? Why you stop right there? Yeah, he's saying, hey buddy. Yeah, he's gonna sit there now like an idiot. I should have used my engine braking. I just had too much of a load. Oh, this is just okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Now we can make some time. But yeah, some places in this country they call it a the highway, you know, highway where people refer to it. I don't know. But up north, it's the freeway. And the UK, I think they call it the. Oh my gosh, is it the motorway? And obviously in Germany it's the Autobahn. I don't know what they call it in France. I've heard it before, but can't think of it right now. But yeah, it's kind of weird. When I moved south all those years ago, I was talking about the freeway, and people were like, What in the world is this guy talking about? They just looked at me like, what? What is he saying, you know? And I was like, oh, the freeway, you know? What do you mean? I thought, I took a few freeways to get here. How do you not know what I'm talking about? The freeway, like, it's unbelievable in a country, you know, I guess ours is a decent size, but it's unbelievable how much different words can be used and people don't understand each other. But yeah, and then people correct me on, you mean the interstate? Yeah, you know, I guess, yeah, I obviously knew what the interstate, if they would have said, oh, you're going to drive the interstate, I would have known what they were talking about. I was quite surprised that they had no clue what I meant by freeway. Of course, they don't even know what a cheese curd is here, a curd of cheese. Gosh, we live off of those in Wisconsin. Look at this tight area. Holy cow. Well, that was short-lived. I don't know what we're getting on now here. Yeah, we love our cheese in the north. Down here, you walk in a supermarket and, I don't know, pretty slim pickings. Pretty slim pickings when it comes to finding cheese. People don't eat a lot of it here. I don't know. Everything's deep fried. Can't complain about that, although my doctor does. Alright, buddy. What are you doing? Oh man, we are cutting him off. I do not care. No blinker. You have discovered a retirement agency. Oh my god, I just ran a light. That's a recruitment agency back there. I could use a retirement agency. So I ran a red light and didn't get busted. That's cool. I can't even pronounce this town, so I'm not even gonna try, but oh, I had this button on my my deal here, my steering wheel. I couldn't figure out what it's for, and I just realized, and I think it maybe is the reason why I crashed last time. Blame it on the technology here. Yep, there's the engine brake. It shuts the engine brake off. I forget what they call it. Actually, I'm not quite sure why you'd want to turn it on. I think one time it made sense, but obviously it's something I've forgotten about. But anyway, you can hit this button, and then when you push the engine brake, maybe I'm losing my mind. I swear to God it wasn't on a minute ago. Something wasn't right with my braking, but we're just going to blame it on everything but my driving. How's that sound? My driving is just superb. You don't get no better. Couldn't have been me. I have rear-ended 2 people before, and man, got lucky both times. Oh, nobody gave me the memo. What the hell? Here, I'll use my blinker, maybe bully my way in here. Ooh! Yeah, you don't want to bully too much, so just stop right in the middle. Yeah, first time I rear-ended somebody was just in town. It was like stop-and-go traffic, and wasn't paying attention, and I had my 1980 Buick thing was like a tank, and bumped into the back of a guy's Ford Ranger going like, I don't know, 6 miles an hour or 8 or something. It wasn't very much, and he couldn't see. That was back when they actually made bumpers out of metal, you know, back in the day, and my car had nothing. I hit a deer going 60 with that thing, and got out, didn't do anything but break the little bit of plastic on the grill, the decorative crap, and I picked the pieces back up and wire tied them together. Had to get out. I was a kid at the time, so I didn't have a gun or anything with me, so I had to get out and with my big mag flashlight to beat the thing over the head to kill it. But luckily, I sat in the car wondering, what am I going to do? I was in the country road at 3 a.m. I was 17, 18 years old, I don't know, not very old. Hey, we're in new country here, Hungary. I am hungry. So yeah, luckily I got out and the damn thing stopped kicking. It was a huge doe. And so I did not have to beat the thing over the head. I had nothing to kill it with, so I was happy. Clocked the thing dead center going 55. That thing nailed its head so freaking hard on the hood of that Buick. It was crazy. You know, imagine if I was going faster, it probably would have lost its head. But yeah, so that was interesting. So can't think of the other time I rear-ended somebody. Well, the first time I didn't get a ticket or nothing. The guy was like, nah, you didn't even touch the bumper. I think there's a dent here, but I think that's for my boat trailer. So he's like, yeah, you're cool. And he drove off. So I was like, oh man, got lucky. The second time I was driving to work and some kids were driving all crazy behind me. And I was a kid too. I was, I think, 19 at the time, driving my Dodge Shadow, little crappy thing that used to get me back and forth to my factory job at Anderson Windows. Maybe some of you have heard of Anderson Windows in Bayport, Minnesota, but I worked there in that factory making windows for, I don't know, a year or something. It's good pay, but not so much fun. Oh man. Okay, that was cool. The truck just kind of sailed through there. But, we got a yield sign. Maybe that's our stop sign. We're racing. We're racing. Okay, we can't hit that. Oh, man. Hey, come on, jackass. I probably could have gone around that deal there, but... Okay, so getting back to the story. Driving to work. Kids pass me. They're hauling ass, and they throw an open soda can out at my car and explodes all over the road. I can't remember if it hit my car or whatnot, but then they started jacking on their brakes and everything else. So I was like, why are they doing this, you know? I mean, what the hell's their problem? So we called it in. I didn't have a cell phone at the time when my buddy did. That's when like people were just getting cell phones back in like I think it was in 2001. And anyway, so we called it in. Like, man, these guys are just frickin' driving nuts. They were trying to hit my car and everything. I mean, they were like slowing down and jacking on the brakes. I tried to get by them, and then they tried to swerve at me, and so I was pissed. I had to get to work. We were already running late. Me and my buddy worked there together. So anyway, yeah, we called it in, and the 911 lady was saying, hey, what's the plate number? You know? And I was like, I don't know. So we roll up to get the plate number and try not to get too close, and we're reading it, and the guy jacks on his brakes, and I went right into the back of him. And my car was drivable. They pushed the radiator and everything in, but I almost got stopped, you know, before I hit him. It was just that little bit, you know, but yeah, cops ended up coming out, and the guy tried to leave, and I probably should have let him, but because I did get a little bit on my insurance for that. But yeah, I was like, no man, you're not leaving, and you gotta stay here. And yeah, the cops came, and him and his passenger both got arrested and hauled to jail. They had a crap load of weed in the car, and a scale, and a bunch of paraphernalia, and all kinds of bad stuff. And they had a pretty long rap sheet, so they got hauled to jail. Their car got towed, and I drove off. I think I busted out their light and a bunch of other stuff, but I never heard from those people again. And luckily, I didn't get charged with anything. Okay, we got a speed camera coming here. It's like on the other side, though. I don't even know. I didn't look at the speed. So I learned my lesson pretty young that I don't care what somebody's doing. I am not, you know, gonna follow too closely, and I don't like tailgating. That's how it is. Okay, maybe this is our speed camera. I don't know. Oh, they got me all paranoid. I can't see that. Holy cow. Hey, there's an excavator. Just drop her here. Maybe I'll be willing to take a speed ticket. Man, we've been driving a lot down some of these roads, and what's this? Speed camera? I don't know. Certainly I can't be going too fast. This thing is pegged in the floor. I gotta get some power. I gotta get something with a little bit more power. I don't know how much it'll help. You know, we're doing pretty good with the power we got already. I mean, especially when we get her going, but all these dang highways and cars and everything else pulling out kind of slow you down a little bit. I hope we're not too far out. What is this? These look like... No, those are signs. Holy cow! Oh. Hey, that was just bad driving right there. But I corrected it. Jacked on the brake to slow it down, and then I punched it because if I would have held on the brake, this whole load would have just jackknifed right there. It would have been done. And I got her just enough to bite those wheels, and then put on the throttle there to keep it from keep the back end from going out on us. Farm simulator. I think we're getting close here, but yeah, it's just a few miles. It's like 2:30 in the morning right now, which is it's usually my bedtime. Kind of doing this one late. Did some other recording and editing today, some new videos, and there's my big ticket. You bastards! Had to get one. Had to get one. I was just trying to get up to this car here. My plan was I was gonna rear end all these cars, but no. But yeah, I did some really good stuff today and yesterday. I'm going to be putting up for this video, but just in case I don't want to spill the beans, we've got some really good stuff coming. I am on the fence with my farm simulator at this point. I can't believe it, but I've spent probably 100 hours editing that map. Some of it was learning. I did a lot of modding in Farm Sim 2011, but did a little bit more intricate stuff on this one, and also using some other people's mods, and yeah, just trying to tweak a lot of things. So I spent a lot of time and getting things up to par with that map, and I knew all along the other map was coming. I've known it for months, but I don't know, it was like somebody flipped the light switch and here we are. September's gone. The last video, ironically, I recorded was on the 4th of September, the day that the new DLC came out. You know, for the Farm Simulator. Actually, not the new DLC, the DLC included with the game for the console. And I just never made it back in. So, been doing a lot of other things and working on different projects, but gonna probably go in and do one more. I think I'm gonna do is try out that mod for the external account. I think they had something like that in 2011, and I did it there because you could transfer money between players, if I remember, in that game. But this one you can, and you can transfer between accounts. Oh my goodness. I don't know what in Haiti these people are doing. We're going sidewalk driving. Oh, yeah, now you do it. Now we're gonna get stuck. No, we're not. Gotta think slim. Hey! I don't really know much about this country. Should brush up on my history on it. I don't even know what cities. Well, Budapest, I heard of that. This one here, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Whoa. But yeah. So we'll be working on some things. I'm gonna bring out a farm simulator, and I think I'm gonna blow it up on that map because I really do love the map now. Man, I've got her just where I wanted it. I love playing with the stock maps. Modded maps are okay, but I just find I'm too OCD. I find too many little things wrong with some of them, and I just look at that and I'm like, man, this is going to take more editing than if I use the map that came with the game. I can, you know, those people make sure everything works. But anyway, I think I'm going to use it, blow it up, and then transfer the money so that when we go to the USA map, we have some money in our account, which I think is fair. I don't cheat in that game. I know a lot of people do, and it's not really cheating. Some people don't care to spend that kind of time playing these games, not even this one, and I understand that, you know. Not everybody enjoys playing a million hours of simulator. They just want to come in, do a little driving, have fun, and I don't think it's really that much cheating to use a money mod, but personally for me it ruins the hell out of the game. I don't like it, and again, I don't look down on anybody that does that. It's cool with me. Well, I didn't get this trailer perfect, but it's good enough for the girls in this neighborhood. Alright, well, whoops. Forgot to shut the thing off there. Hey, we got excellent. Holy cow. It's normally what I get until I record, then I crash into everything. Yay, we're almost smart. Although it says I'm a master. So, we did pretty good. Made a few bucks. And I did a little damage to the truck, but I don't think it was anything too significant. So, let's pull out of here and head into town. I guess we're in town, but it's kind of cool. Like a construction site. Makes sense. I like that. Dropping our load here. But yeah, so I thought about doing the money mod for, you know, just giving myself just 1 million, because I've, you know, certainly made a heck of a lot more than that. But I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't really want to ditch the other map. Unless if people really request me to, and I mean, I don't really care for myself, but I do kind of want to, you know, get some good use out of it too. So I thought, well, since that farm's established and can make money quick, maybe we'll make money there, and you know, travel back and forth between that and the USA map until we get the USA map where we want it, and then go from there. So I guess that's enough about the farm simulator. With this game here, I said in the beginning of the episode, we're going to try to get some trucks, people, and buy a small shop for, you know, 1 or 2 guys to work out of. And if there's one available down in Switzerland or Italy, maybe Austria, I think I want to get a little bit more down there and buy one. I definitely want to get one in the UK and do one out in maybe Paris eventually, but I want to go down in the Alps region because I think it would be pretty awesome to be messing around on those roads. I've seen, you know, how pretty they are. You guys that play the hell out of the game, you obviously know all about them, but we can't sleep there. Yeah, so I want to do some hill climbing. I want to be using my engine brake and going down hills and tearing up those routes. Maybe we'll even, just for the shoots and giggles, buy a too much planet side, but you know, just buy just a stock truck, maybe the one I'm gonna give to my driver, and we'll go down and tear up one of those mountain roads, pulling I don't know, 24-ton excavator or something, and I can't really see with my mirror there. Yeah, and go down there and just try pulling that thing up and down those hills. I don't know, maybe that would be boring. Maybe that would be too much, but I'm gonna go up to this dealer because, just in case if I forget. Yeah, you know what? Driving the wrong side of the road and you won't get a ticket. I learned that one. Alright. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, and maybe that'll be a great place to test out our new truck. I think I'm gonna go with like a 4x2 chassis just so I can really pimp it out. I kind of miss that. Where's that place that we were supposed to discover? Oh, there's where we came in. Man, oh my goodness. Whoops. Well, this is a bunch of nonsense. Now we're gonna drive reckless. As long as you don't drive over that trigger for the ticket, you're good to go. So what do we got here? Oh, it's on the other side there, or what? What do we got going on here? Is this it? No. This is it. Yeah, what do we... Oh, a recruitment. Oh, okay. So, I guess this town just has a shop. Let's burn down the end of the street here and... I'll pull in there real quick before we go to sleep. Actually, I think, yeah, we can sleep there again, so... we gotta figure out where the heck it is. Let's drive on this side of the street! Oh my gosh. Sorry, dude. Oh, get a little bit impatient towards the end of these, but hopefully you guys enjoy the longer video. I'll probably be... Whoops. Oh, wrong way, $100. Psh, I'm rich. Biatch! Don't care. Hopefully you guys enjoy these longer videos though, as I was saying. If not, you can thumbs down the crap out of the video and put all kinds of hate, and I don't know, you can make fun of my banner and my profile picture, whatever. That'll let me know that you don't like my videos. Okay, whoop. We better do her up here. Let's see, service. Wow, that's not too bad. Some of this is not all damage that I did, you know, it's gonna be damages from driving the truck, but yeah, it's not too bad. Did pretty good on this one. We made 27 profit-ish, minus fuel and my time and your time. Back her up and shut her down. I don't know if we're going to sleep here or not. We're about halfway on the old sleeping, so... That's a good sound. That's the end of a work day right there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll be bringing you another one here soon. I think I might scoot around the continent here a little bit before we do another one so I can get that money built up. Let me know if there's something you guys think you'd like to see or have me do. I'd be happy to look into it. We'll probably get into doing a little bit of modding on this one. I'm a little scared of some of the things I've seen in the horror stories about people having all kinds of terrible trouble with certain mods, and of course the game always likes to scare you whenever they do a patch and this, that, and the other. So we'll get into that though. Eventually I'll just get to a point where I really don't care anymore. I'll make backup as you should do and as they tell you to do. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I appreciate you so much coming by. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.